Train your mind to recognize how quickly everything passes. Every person, every possession, every achievement, and every memory is carried away by time. The things that captivate us, the pleasure we chase, the pains we dread, the honors we crave, are all remarkably fragile. They appear important only because we choose to give them such importance. Look closely. How trivial all the objects of our vanity. How fleeting is public admiration. How unreliable is reputation, resting as it does in the options of people who are themselves temporary and imperfect. And death? Strip away the fear and the stories we tell ourselves about it, and it becomes simply another part of nature. To fear what is natural is to misunderstand life itself. Everything that is born must change. Everything that changes eventually comes to an end. This is not a flaw in the universe. It is how the universe remains alive. Accepting this is not resignation. It is wisdom. The poet once observed that nothing is more pitiful than spending your life searching everywhere except within yourself. Some people devote themselves to understanding the world, investigating every mystery, analyzing every person they meet, trying endlessly to discover what others think or feel. Yet they neglect the one place that deserves their deepest attention, their own mind. Within each of us is the capacity for reason, integrity, and wisdom. That is what deserves our care. To honor it means keeping it free from bitterness, selfishness, and needless desire. It means refusing to resent either the actions of other people or the events that life places before us. Respect what is beyond your control. Be compassionate towards those who act without understanding, for ignorance, its own kind of blindness. Their failure to recognize what is truly good harms them just as surely as the loss of sight harms the body. Whether you live for 30 years or 3,000, you possess only one life, and that life exists only in this present moment. The past is already beyond your reach. The future has not yet arrived. The only time you can truly lose is the time you're living now. So the person who dies young and the person who dies old lose exactly the same thing, the present moment. Everything else was either already gone or had never yet belonged to them. Remember, too, that history moves in cycles. Generation after generation repeats the same hopes, fears, ambitions, and mistakes. The same dramas unfold beneath different names. Whether you witness them for 20 years or 200 makes very little difference. What matters is not how long you watch the play. What matters is how well you perform your own part while you are on the stage. What disturbs us is rarely reality itself. More often, it is the story we tell ourselves about reality. Beyond our judgments, assumptions, and opinions, many things simply are. They carry no meaning until we give them one. This does not mean that every opinion is false or that nothing matters. It means we should be careful not to mistake our interpretation for the truth itself. Whenever you find yourself troubled, pause and ask, am I responding to what has actually happened, or only the meaning I have attached to it? That single question has the power to restore clarity. The soul diminished itself in several ways. It diminished itself whenever it rebels against life, resenting events simply because they're not what it wanted. To reject reality is to place yourself in conflict with the very order that sustains you. It diminishes itself when it deliberately wishes harm upon another person. Anger, revenge, and malice warn the one who carries them long before they reach anyone else. It diminishes itself when it becomes enslaved by either pleasure or pain, allowing comfort to dictate its choices or suffering to define its identity. It diminishes itself whenever it speaks or acts dishonestly, pretending to be something it is not. And finally, it diminishes itself whenever it lives without purpose. No action is too small to deserve intention. Even the simplest task should contribute, however quietly, to the life you're trying to build. Human beings flourish when they live in harmony with reason, with one another, and with the greater order of which they are a part. Every thoughtful action strengthens the harmony. Every careless one weakens it. Human life is astonishingly brief. Our bodies are fragile. Our senses are easily deceived. Fortune is unpredictable. Reputation fades almost as quickly as it is earned. Life itself can feel like crossing unfamiliar ground, never entirely certain of the way ahead. So what can truly guide us? Only this: a mind shaped by wisdom. Guard your inner life carefully. Do not surrender it to fear, pleasure, vanity, or the opinions of other people. Let it remain honest, self-disciplined, and free. Do what is right, not because someone is watching, but because it is who you choose to be. Accept what lies beyond your control without bitterness. Accept what lies within your control with courage. And when the time comes to leave this life, meet it calmly. Death is not an interruption of nature, but one of its oldest patterns. Just as every living thing is formed from countless elements brought together for a time, those same elements are one day released to become part of something new. Nothing unnatural has happened. Nothing has been taken from the universe. Only change has occurred. And change has always been the way of the world. Marcus Aurelius wrote these words nearly 2,000 years ago, never intending them to be published. They were private reminders, notes to himself, written by a man carrying the weight of an empire while trying not to lose himself. What makes meditation remarkable is not that it offers certainty, but that it returns again and again to the same simple truth. You cannot control what life brings. You can only control the person you become in response. Everything else, success and failure, praise and criticism, health and illness, gain and loss, belongs to the changing world around you. Your character belongs to you. So guard it well, my commander.